This conference will now be recorded.
All right, so today is Wednesday, January 8th, and as always, everything that we're going to be talking about today is for educational purposes only, and nothing is intended as any type of investment advice. So got a few things going on out there. I know yesterday we had some pretty big news that came out. But it really doesn't seem to make really that big of an effect. We got a kind of a pretty big move towards that downside coming into the aftermarket in most things, but then we kind of came right and almost exactly right back to where we were. So it doesn't look like there's a huge effect so far, but we'll see what happens as we come back in. Let's talk about what we have going on that's new and not market. So first thing is going to be ITCI. So we can see it's taken a pretty big hit. We closed at 31. We're all the way down underneath that 28 level. We have our support there, pretty much 27.75. Now, the one thing that's pretty big problem here is that 28 is very, 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 very mixed. And if we look at where we originally started coming down from, the volume wasn't really that crazy. So overall, if we look at the daily, it kind of almost looks like a failed flag or kind of a failed stair step from there. But overall, like I said, I just have not seen enough selling coming into that 28 to really definitively tell me that this thing wants to continue on its short. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a 10,000 share print there at 838, but overall, like I said, it's just not enough to definitively say anything, because you can see there's just been a lot more buying coming into it, even on these pull-ups coming there. You can see, around that 28, above that 28, around the 28, 25 area. So once again, really what I'm looking for in here is something a little bit more definitive at 28, or if it just gets away from 28 and we get some new prints at a clean level, I'm perfectly fine with that as well. But overall, it's got some of the best volume that we see going on out there. It's obviously, going to have more movement than we usually would expect. On average, trades $1.18. Going to obviously expect more than that, considering that we should basically crush the average daily volume. So overall, just looking for something clean at that 28. Next thing looking at is M. So M is on the bottom of my list, and the reason being is, a lot of times when we see M make the move, make a decent move during that pre-market, we kind of see it die out, and it does not really have a big range whatsoever. It is already trading 2 million shares though, so we should definitely expect a little bit more than that 50-cent range. But another one where I'm not as static about what happened when it came up to the 19. And if it lets me go back, I'll show you. All right, so coming up to that 19, you can see we really didn't get anything special. You had a few ask prints, and when it's trading 2 million shares, these 4 prints is not going to do it for me. You have a little bit underneath there. But coming back up that second time, if you look, we had a few prints again at that 19, even though, excuse me, we started off with a burst at 8. Going into that bid side of things. And then towards the high, we didn't really have as much as I would have liked to see. I mean, it's just, once again, for 2 million shares, just not that much at all. So I don't really see much definitive in here either. It does, like I said, it has some prints at 19, but based off 2 million shares, just not really that many. So going to be looking at looking to see a little bit more. Yeah, so the bids at 1850, once again, kind of mixed prints as they were coming back out. I'm just not sold. I don't see this as definitive when it's trading this many shares. I would like to see it hit those levels a few times, because it sure takes a lot more than 4 prints to get, to really make any type of substantial move coming into M. So yes, we certainly have that there. Okay, and it does look like, that we should be able to pull back, especially because on these especially this move up, I mean, it wasn't anything too crazy for the amount of volume. So once again, I'm just not really sold on the puzzle that we have and with the prints that we have. Now, BYND we were looking at yesterday, very, very smooth trading stock coming into this morning. Big move towards that upside. Now, if we come back over, you can see there were 3 prints that we had in at 90. And this is a really substantial pullback from just 3 prints there. So it's another one where, overall, I'm going to be expecting to go back up above 90. Once again, big range. We're going to be expecting a big pullback, even though it's only 3 prints. It's also, orders are extremely thin, and it's not really giving much. So those 3 prints definitely are substantial. So going to be looking for some type of trigger back towards that upside. But I'm also going to be looking for more buying to be coming in, because even though we have those prints at 90, there's just, I haven't seen much being built after those prints came in, and that's something that I'm looking for, because obviously, if they're bringing it down to put, to build to push it back up, what we're going to be expecting is them to be building down here, and I'm just not really seeing it yet. So another one where it's smooth, and we're definitely going to get a beautiful show of hand and a very high percentage trade at some point in here, but I'm just, once again, just not convinced all around. And then I have a few things on my side list. So MTP is going to be on my side list. And one thing that I really do like about this is that if we look over and if we allows me to go all the way back, where's 140? Okay, right here. So one thing that we always want to look at is on these cheaper stocks, are we getting some buying coming in near the highs? And you can see 135, we have 140, 142. So there's definitely some buying that's sitting up there. And I really haven't seen much of it coming out. I mean, it's definitely getting some selling, but that's, the stock is also down about 20 cents from there. But the thing that I do like is it's holding within this consolidation. I really want to see it hold 120 and be able to trigger back up towards that top side. Remember, it's not, based off of what we have here, it's not going to be a huge mover. So remember what your game plan is and what you're looking to accomplish for today. And if it isn't trading a bunch more shares of a cheaper stock, then this probably isn't going to be the stock for you. Although at the same time, if you're learning a cheaper stock, it's definitely a great example of what we need and the variables that we have there. So overall, I'm going to want to obviously see volume come in a lot more thicker and then get a trigger back up to to show us that we'll be able to push past that 150. Because remember, if we want our price target to be 150, we need to see the buying in here at least to $1.75. Had huge ask prints. Oh, and BYND. Yeah, I remember you guys talking. That was a while ago, though, wasn't it? A few weeks ago. Okay. Well, we'll definitely take a look. I mean, definitely keep that in mind and put that in the notes that we do have a lot more buying up here at the 90. Even better. All right. And then on my other side list, where it was side list until it's actually getting a lot better right now, but it's CEI from yesterday. So CEI took a really nice. What's going on here? There we go. All right. So it made a nice little run coming into the aftermarket yesterday. You can see after we come into the 4 o'clock time period, we could see this thing really kind of push up, and it ended up falling back down, but it pushed up on absolutely nothing. But we have really great buying right around that 325 from yesterday and underneath. So right now, holding at that point, it's really holding that consolidation well, and you can see this buying that's starting to come in to kind of push it back towards that upside from where the push ended yesterday before the market ended. So CEI definitely going to be something that I'm going to be looking at very closely. And it actually right now it's not even really a side list stock. As of right this second, it's a regular stock. So I'm going to move that over. But before, when I was looking at it, hadn't made this move yet. And once again, getting great buying coming back in. We have our double top all the way up here. So we have some pretty decent things to be looking at there. And then you said APLS is printing. Let's take a look. Yeah, volume's disgusting. But yeah, very confusing print. Well, not really confusing. 39, 39.50. So we'd expect a pretty, a decent pull up to the upside and then movement down. But I mean, it's just not much to go off of, only trading 70,000. But definitely keep a note of that. All right, guys. Anything else out there that I missed? Anything else that we got going on? BBBY and STZ have earnings today. So BBBY, nothing there yet. Okay, I assumed. All right, guys, let's get ready for our morning. Let's make sure we talked about this earlier. Let's make sure we have a definitive game plan of what we're trying to accomplish today. Let's make sure we pick the best stock for that. Before we get focused on our morning, make sure at least one more time to go over your Post-it notes and the habit that you're looking to build, and make sure that you focus on the stuff we talked about yesterday in Traders Exchange. We did a lot of very, very important topics yesterday, and make sure that translates over to your trading this morning. All right, guys, let's get ready for our morning, and happy trading.